You know, if I do a Exos video and it starts off on this screen, that is about to be some serious shit. What's going on, guys? It's your boy Cash, and today's video specifically is going to be whole wheat lowers your cholesterol and is 100% MFO. Today we're going to be tackling burst damage, and more specifically we're going to be tackling how effective it is, how much damage it actually increases, and more specifically, like, you know, how much should you wait? You know, should you wait for X, for Z? Should you actually wait for you to be 1 mana over, 2 mana over, 3 mana over? When should you go for the big nuke? And a lot of the damage, I mean, a lot of the times, the reason why I was kind of like reluctant to do this video is for the fact that it's like, well, just wait until you have full mana and just dump on over. Like, which is stupid, in my opinion, is dumb, because it's like, let's take Rudley, for example. He has a very strong skill, but there's sometimes where he has, I don't have full mana, and I go for the burst, and then he doesn't get the kill. And that's literally a waste of turn when I could have just waited maybe one more turn, especially if the nature elemental gain is active. I could have possibly waited a little bit longer and I would have got through the Dragon Blood shield. I would have got through XYZ. Now, I'm not gonna have, now this wasn't a separate effort. I tell you guys, when it comes down to these dirty videos, I gotta get my boy Tachi on the line. If you guys can do me a favor, hit up, I'm gonna leave a card to his channel, ironically, and it's going to be his most recent video or something like that. He's playing Sino Alice, and he needs all of the help he can get because there's a lot of heavy hitters in that genre. Go hit him up, say, you know, thank you or whatever. He's helped me with this. What he specifically helped me on is to figure out how much damage is increased through each thing, like what's the percentage of damage. So we're gonna go through here, and first and foremost, and I'm sorry if the tank top bothers you in my magical chest hair, I don't actually have AC in my room. It's literally just the computer and me in the closed windows, because I don't have a screen on my window, so I actually can't open my window. I'm gonna get a screen eventually for it, but it's very hot in my room. So please forgive me. I know some people don't like chest hair and stuff, you know, because they don't got any. Anyway, as you can see here, what I'm trying to do is, I'll back out of this, is that the first person that we tested is Colin. Colin is really good, because you guys don't know that Colin is the only unit in the game. I can bring you guys into the game real quick so you guys understand. Once I explain the experiment to you, it should make a lot more sense. This is Colin, and to my knowledge, it could be another character that's like this, but I just don't know of him. Hurricane Thunder is a 0 mana burst skill. So theoretically, if there was any character to test how strong burst is, it's gonna be using Colin. Colin, you can literally go from 0 mana to 1 to 2 to 3, you know, to 4. Now, based on the people that we're testing this on, I asked Tachi again, because he helped me out a lot here, to put 2 units that are not particularly strong so they can't kill him immediately. Also, I want to note that he is not 5-star. I don't want him, because if he's 5-star, that means on his first turn he's going to gain 1 mana, so we'll never be able to get the 0 burst. So he has to stay 4-star. I have to keep him on this gear. He was on this gear the entire time, so his attack and defense stay the same, and same thing for Tachi. He did not change the attack or defense of any of these units. I'm not gonna go through proving that to you, because I hope that you can just trust that I wouldn't spoil my own research, like, look at the damage, it's different, because he like had armor on and then take it off. So you just have to believe me on that. That's why the video is MFO, to the extent that you just have to trust me. Now, we had to take the damage. Let me go back to here. So now you can see it's going to be at all times, it's going to be Colin versus 2 people. We're gonna bring it up here so you guys can see it. So pretty much anytime that I would do the Hurricane Thunder, I literally go frame by frame and input the damage. So as you can see, 35 here, that damage is recorded in 2 separate spots on a notepad. So 35 when it's on the left, for Hurricane Thunder anyway, for Hurricane Thunder, 35 on the left is April, and 35 on the right is going to be Cernado. So these are the numbers. I guess this is kind of like a spoiler, but I don't really care. If you're gonna watch the video, you'll be able to see it. So 35, 71, 71. You're gonna see that recorded here, 71, 71. Next one is gonna be the 106 on the left, right? 106 on the left is April, and then 107 On the right is going to be Cernato. So yes, this took a little bit of time. We also, this is something that, a little spoiler, you guys don't even know what that is, so hi, you gotta watch the rest of the video. So we actually figured out, not only did we figure out burst, we also figured out something else a little bit later. So based on the damage that we had in the first one, I'm just gonna, so now that you guys can see the data and you can look at it, that this is how much damage the first Hurricane Thunder did. That's how much it did, and I done it a couple other times, and the damage seems to be within these realms. So the damage, whenever you see a damage or a skill, it does a variance of damage that is like 1 or 2 off, but naturally going to be the same. So my point of me saying that is that no matter how many times I do the Hurricane Thunder at 0 mana, it's gonna come out to around these numbers. This one might turn into 143, this one might turn to 144 for all extensive purposes. So it's not gonna be that crazy different. Of course, the difference, you can see like this one did 106, 107, so that their different defenses are going to come into contention slightly, but that's about it. So the second time I did it, this was 1 mana. So this is 0, this is 1. So now you can see he has 1 mana, and now, because he countered, and now he's going to actually go with the next Hurricane Thunder. See, now this is the 1 mana Hurricane Thunder. Just again, this is just to be transparent because I know some people. So you actually will see here, this is actually one of the ones where I took the data, but he blocked. So the damage that you guys see on this one is the block. Now you guys just heard what I said, right? So I took 1 damage, and these are 41, 82, 123, 164, and his damage when it's not blocked was 41, 82, 123, 166. Now between here, a 0 mana burst to his 1 mana burst, it's about 15%. That Tachi helped me do that as far as like that. So for all extensive purposes, so you guys know from the jump, it's about 15%. And if you take from 1 mana to 2 to 2 to 3, this is 0 to 1, 1 to 2, and then 2 to 3. I can't get any higher than that because he's gonna die. He has no way to heal himself or anything like that, so that's the farthest I can get with Colin. What I also wanted to say, since they happen to block, since he happens to block, this was very interesting for us to see, is that now I could see what is block. What is block? I've been trying to figure that out for so long. Now it comes to the fact that block, now I had to ask Tachi this because this is for his unit obviously. So from 41 damage it went down to 16, from 82 damage it went down to 32, from 123 damage it went down to 48, and from 166 damage it went down to 67. What does that mean? Now when I asked him what is his block and what is his block rate on Cernato at the time, and he responded to me, his block rate was 52%. And as I've been theorizing, that means that every character has a 50% shot, because everyone starts off with 50, has a 50% chance to block. I think that that's bullshit, by the way. A 50-50 coin toss to take less damage is terrible. But what does the other number mean? Now you can easily see that he said that, sorry, you can't easily see. He said that his block is 6. So that automatically takes out this theory, right? Because if this is 41 damage, you know, that's not 60. That would just go down to 0. It went down to 16. So what actually happens here, if you mathematical, or you don't have to really, but that it takes about 60% of that damage and brings it down. So that means that whatever a character's block is, that is the percentage of damage that is going to be taken from each little instance of damage. That's insane. So if you think about characters like Ulum, who has base 390 block, they're taking nothing from these damages. Dodge obviously is really hard to test. I would love to get a more handle on dodge, but dodge is, I don't understand what the number is itself. I also don't understand how hit affects it, so it'd be really hard to figure out. So now we know how block works. So I don't know, now that we know that you can increase your block by a substantial amount with all blue gear stones, that might be really one of the best ways to mitigate damage. Like a huge amount of damage. I mean, going from 166 to 67 and he only has 60? Because how crazy it is that if you have 6 frost, right? That's 100, gives any character 390. That's a lot of damage mitigation, man. To give that to a character, that might be the next step as far as like mitigating a shit ton of damage, because you're gonna get hit by most stuff, then you're gonna dodge it, right? So imagine just mitigating that that much damage on that level. I think that might be a little bit more important, but you're still having what, like a 50-50 shot of actually blocking, but could be a crazy way. And I just wanted to bring that up in this video because who else is doing this shit for you, let's be honest. So hit that like, comment, subscribe button if I just blew your mind to some extent. So it's about 15% damage. Now what I needed to test also is that, is it just specifically that it was just Colin, right? Because how effective would this be if it's just on Colin? Colin's the only one that has 15%. Now I tried to do Maggie and then failed miserably. It failed miserably before I even tested it, because I was like, Maggie has mana utilization. That means her attack is at different levels when it's her turn, right? Depending on the mana of her and depending on the mana of the enemy. So I couldn't use Maggie. So that's where Talia comes in. Talia has a, where's my boo? I knew she would come in handy, man. I knew she would come in handy. So Summon Golem is a 4 mana burst and it does whatever damage. The base damage honestly doesn't matter, and it heals, right? So what I wanted to test was 2 things. So we get to learn even more about burst here. What do we get to learn about burst? Is it the same regardless of where the base mana is versus where the next one is? I'll spoil it for you. It does not matter. So when you go to characters like Bathory and their base damage is just that means that the next is going to be 15%. I'm going to show you guys that in a second. But what I wanted to see on specifically her is, does the heal of Summon Golem go up? When it says if a mana skill has burst, if a skill has burst on it and it has a heal, does the heal increase as well? I was just curious. So let's look at that data too. So Talia's damage things are here. As you can see here, the first time it was 30, 61, 92, 122, 153, 184, 219. She for some reason her damage just has more hits in it than Colin's does. I think 1 is because she's a faded, 2 just to, you know, add more effect. The more numbers you see, the more, you know, the more you think you're doing. I think it's just a visual thing, like, oh my god, look at the hit. Probably why I should have done Maggie, because she probably has like, how many numbers is this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And hers probably has like 12 or some dumb shit. There would have been a nightmare trying to add that up. So if you check these numbers, 30 to 35, 61 to 70, it's about 15%. I mean the total damage in general. As you can see, this was the dash 250. Like I said, that's that variance. Like I said, it goes for about 0, 1, 2 damage. Sometimes it's going to be the same. Sometimes it's going to be more than that. And so you can see here with Talia, I'm not lying to you guys. Again, you can think that I'm lying. I just don't want the video to be 30 minutes long trying to showcase that damage. The 30 30, 61 61, and that's how I'm doing it. 30 30, 61 61, and I'm going frame by frame, guys. So there's nothing that I'm missing here. As soon as it hits 92 92, boom, 92 92. I'm not fucking around. 122. Oh wait, oh, there's too many numbers on screen. I back frame it. 122 on the left side, 123 on the right. So now it happens to be on the left this time. So while I'm doing this, it's flipped. So this is Sonato's damage and this is April's. So it's just a little bit slightly different. So just a little slightly different, but the numbers are going to be generally the same. It doesn't really change. 184, 184. A lot of the numbers are actually very close, are similar between both of them. So it's just like different. 219 on the left, 217 on the right. You know, same thing like that. And as you can see, the next time I did it, it's still the same. So it's still 15%. So it does not matter if the damage is mana 3, burst 2. But it does matter in the sense that, you know, obviously, if you looked at Collins, it's 34 base, right? So in order for him to get to good damage, you know, you have to be a little bit mindful of like this 35 damage on the base, right? So his overall damage is shittier, you know, but he has access to the move. So if you wanted to possibly get a kill AoE based in this scenario, I use AoE damages, but yeah, that's kind of how you would look at it. Are you gonna get the kill? How much mana are you over your burst? And you'd have to know, oh, I would definitely get a kill with that. I got 2 mana over burst. That's how I say it. I got 2 mana burst. I have 3 mana burst. I think that's how we should start identifying it. I have 5 mana burst. Can I kill? I got 2 mana burst. Can I kill? You know, you should understand what your damage is on your character to know whether or not you should be going for the move or waiting a turn or waiting 2 turns and then going for the burst. Now everyone's like, oh, I just wait for 10 mana. I mean, I guess, but why would you wait? Why would you wait if you know you can get the kill a turn or 2 turns before? You have to know your damage. So specifically here, so also what I said, right, the heal, right? So when I'm doing this, I wanted to take the heal, right, into consideration. So the heal here is 1880, and that was consistent every time that I did that, 1880. And then when I did I write it down here? No, I did not. So when she had 1 additional mana, it went up. It went up to 2014. So the burst does increase the heal, but the damage is not considered of the burst, because luckily for me, and not even luckily, it was just very annoying. One of the trials, one of the summon golems that I did, are you guys gonna see it here? Dodge. So while I'm recording data, one of them actually dodges. So it actually lets me know when it was 214 on the dodge, when only one of them got hit. And then I do one here where they both get hit. It let me know that the damage actually does not matter. So on a healing burst skill, you're going to get the heal anyway. So it's not even indicative of if they get hit. I don't know if they get hit or not. It actually usually it tells you that in the skill. So let me look at Talia again. It usually will say if hit or something like that. Heals all allies by 24% of own max health when the skill hits. So even though one dodge, as long as one of them got hit, it still goes through. So that's pretty cool to know. So you're still gonna get that 24% or whatever the burst increased it by. We didn't even care what did we actually put how much that is? Let me ask him actually. That's the only thing that I'm bad with. Like I can, obviously most of us is gonna see that it increases, but the percentage is something important, because you can kind of like, you can write down how much damage your character does and then like kind of like multiply it by 15%, 15%, 15%, and say, hey, it takes a 5 mana burst to kill, or it takes a 2 mana burst. Oh, you know, for battery, it's probably not 10. I'm almost assuming that if you're taking a base 357 or whatever the heck her thing is, like when you take characters like Maggie, where it's like 178, battery 178, but they have this skill as well. Remember, they have mana utilization, so it's very, very different on far as like how much damage is. They have a little bit extra zest, like a little bit extra damage that they can do. All right, and Tachi said the heal was about a 7% increase. So the heal is about 7, and the damage still managed to be about 15%. So are you guys surprised? Were you guys expecting it to be a large amount of damage? I mean, that would be crazy if it was like a 30%, 50% increase per mana over. But at least you guys are now a little bit more aware. You guys are now more prepared. I feel like the more knowledge you have in the game, I think the better you are, knowing that. Well, thank you. I think that there is importance to knowing how much damage you have laying on the table. It will let you make more informed decisions, and I think that that's a little bit more important than just I'm gonna do it when I have 10, because even more importantly, you're not always gonna have a character that's gonna be able to do 10, you know, because they're not 6 stars. So if it's a 5 mana burst and you're not even be able to take advantage of the burst, I mean, at that time you can't take advantage of it. But if you notice, maybe that character might be worth 6 star, like a star team, you know, that's a lot of damage. 840 base, and then you're increasing it by 15% each time. And then if you unlock potential, that's base 1040 or 1050, I think it is. Yeah, that's definitely worth it. I think like on Karina or something like that, that might be worth it. You 6 star that character and then unlock potential. It might actually change how your dragon runs go. Now, not doing that currently because I'm pretty satisfied with where my dragon runs are at. But that's just an example of reasons you would want to invest even further in, you know, making a dragon run better, making your PvP run better, especially with her, because she's ice. You know, you can, now that we saw how block is affected, you know, maybe get people's block rate up like crazy, have a bunch of characters blocked. She might get enough mana to, on a consistent basis, use her S3, and I don't know, like it just opens up a lot of possibilities. What are you guys gonna do with this information, or do you not really care? You can tell me it's not really important to me. But I think that it is helpful, and I hope that the community can use it in some way, shape, or form. Remember to like, comment, subscribe, and remember that every day at the Cashing is your lucky day, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.